Hey there, it's Melissa and I'm really happy to be back again with another video for you. Today I am doing another video for Make Paper Art and I'm using the Coffee Me cut file. It was perfect for me because coffee is one of my favourite things and it's what I have in the morning before I have anything else as my coffee. So I'm just showing you here a piece of Amy Tangerine, was it? I can't even remember what it was called, but it was in 2013 and I had kept it for ages and I was really happy to use it because often we have things in our stash and we think I'll keep them and then we never end up using them. So basically I wanted to keep that branding strip on the bottom. I love the pink sort of watercolour swash, or whatever you call it, swish, and so I trimmed off the equivalent off the top of the page to make it a 12 by 12. So I've cut that, sorry about the dinging, that's my husband's iPad. I've cut that on white cardstock and I love it, and what I'm wanting to do is really play off that pink at the bottom of the page. And I had this piece left over from another project that I did for Make Paper Art, and so I tried to make a decision about which side of the paper. Looking at the other side, I actually really like it now, but I decided to go with the more small repeating pattern and just have a excuse me, a small mat of pink. So this is a photo from my favourite cafe. It's called Bespoke in Queenstown, and we just went out, my friend and I, on my birthday for a treat. And here I have another of the cut files from that set, and it's a coffee cup with the steam, and then it's got a heart, and you'll see that later on when I stick it back on. So when I designed this layout, I put all the pieces together on Silhouette Studio to where I wanted them, and then I cut them. So that's always a good idea. If you don't know how something's going to look and you're wanting to get the size correct, you can place all the elements together on design, Silhouette Design, and then you can even put a square or whatever shape your photo is going to be as well. So here I wanted to make the coffee cup quite cute and whimsical, so I went with that butterfly little square of paper. I'm using a hip kit, except for the background paper. The rest is last year's, I think it's September hip kit, featuring Paige Evans' Turn the Page. I'm making my way through that now and really enjoying using it. So just trimming it out, I want to have a small little border that's bigger than the actual bit that I've pulled out from the inner piece, and then that way I know that I can put glue on the really thin, because I've made this so small that the actual cut is quite thin, and so I'm actually really happy that I didn't have to trim any extra off, so it fits really well. I made sure that that yellow butterfly was the main feature of this little cut that I did, so that's why I positioned that sort of negative piece to make sure it was totally covered. So this was challenging. I needed something on the other side of the coffee cup. It could have been coffee, or from the angle of the coffee cup it could just be the inside of the coffee cup. So I went with this little brown tan kind of swirly pattern. I thought it could either represent coffee or the inside of the cup. I'm happy with how it turned out, and once again just trimming out, leaving a tiny amount so that I can glue the thin cut file. So that's looking cute. At this point I forgot that it's got that heart in the middle, but I will remember when I look at my Silhouette mat and realise that, when I go to clean it actually, I think, and I come back and realise I need to put that back on. So off the screen here, oh, okay, yeah, so I wanted to do some more stitching because I loved how that looked in my last layout, and rather than go with white again I wanted to go for a colour, and of course pink was going to work really well here. So I matched it as best I could to the pink at the bottom, just using my really old little paper piercer and mat, and I don't show you the stitching because you know you've seen that before. And I decided to only stitch one of the words coffee, the big one, and in retrospect I didn't need to stitch under where I was going to place my photo, but I just did it in front of the TV and really got into the flow. I have covered up, as you see me embellish, I will cover up some of the coffee words, but you know it's coffee, you can see it because it's repetitive. So I was going to have this flat on the page, but then I decided no, I want to pop it up because at the moment there's not much dimension in this page. I didn't worry about popping up the handle, it looked fine like that, and those little dimensionals hold it up from the mug anyway. And there I am just gluing down the stem, and I love how that looks as well. That's flat to the page too, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, so then I, like I said about dimension, I needed to add a bit more, so just using double-sided tape on some craft foam, and yeah, I knew I wanted it to go there on the page. That is, that little cake thing is a raw cheesecake from the same cafe. If you follow me on my personal Instagram, you'll notice that I frequent there a lot. It's in Queenstown. I don't go into Queenstown that much, but when I go, I always make sure I try and go there. It's really, really popular. Because I'm vegan and gluten-free and refined sugar-free, a lot of their food is, so it's perfect. So I put the word magical just to point at the coffee, just to draw more attention, because this is a layout about coffee, and I put some foam behind that as well, because it popped off the photo. So I love the thickers that come in this kit. They are exclusive to HipKit, the perfect shade of gold, and I just wanted to add, you know, butt first coffee, because that's a hashtag that I absolutely love, and it really does apply to me, because it's after I've gotten out of bed, it's often the first thing I do. So I didn't show you me positioning all of them before I took the backing off. So here is a little finger. It belongs to Ava. She likes to play scrapbooking now as well. She's nearly 2. These are some photo corners. I think they're from one of Chamelle's collections. And I needed to add a bit more gold to the page. And I like the touch they add just on the right side of my photo. So just looking at the embellishments from the kit, I was thinking about putting that that piece there because I needed to do my journaling, and obviously it's a background paper that has nothing on it. Well, sorry, has nowhere to write on it. I'm just wondering why I didn't cut that bit out. Anyway, so these are the puffy stickers, and I love them. They feel beautiful. I know that sounds really weird, but I know a lot of you can relate to different puffy stickers and how they feel. These ones are really soft. And so I thought that, what does it say? Every day fresh is a fresh start with coffee. I've got a bird on the top of the sea. I've got a little teacup, but I will move it. It doesn't look quite right there. And now I'm just going through the sticker book, and then I found these 3 takeaway coffee cups. They're absolutely beautiful. I thought originally when I designed this page, I had used the takeaway coffee cups as cut files, and I made 3 of them quite small, and I'd put them where my photo, sort of the bottom of my photo, but in the end my photo is a lot bigger than I intended. So I was really happy to be able to still get 3 of these takeaway coffee cups on the page, and in a way I've represented the different ways that we can drink coffee, I guess, in a mug at home, in a teacup, takeaway cup, and then I've got my photo of at a cafe I have a latte and have almond milk, and I like it in a glass. So then I thought, I've been doing this lately. I did it on the another one I did for Make Paper Art, where I wrote my journaling on the cut file because it's such a big cut. And it's not, I mean, I'm not 100% happy with it, but to me journaling's really important. And yeah, the story, which isn't much really, it's just my birthday and it's a treat with my friend, but that's told. So here I found the chipboard buried deep in the container I have the kit in, and so I've got that, I think it's a moth or a butterfly and an arrow. I think that's all that made it onto here. Just gluing that foam down with some liquid adhesive, so I need to put something on there to press it down. And then that little tab, I guess, says love it. So we've really got a lot of direction pointing towards my photo for this one. When I finished this, I thought that I probably could have done more embellishment around the photo, especially at the bottom right of the photo, but in the end, I think I really wanted to focus on the cut file and the photo, and I think this is flowing really from bottom left to top right, and so that's my final layout. I hope you enjoyed this process. I have a couple of close-ups. I also have my code, if you can use Melissa10 when you check out, and you'll get 10% off. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be back again soon.